Hello everyone, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. Jumping into the next RO here. Took a look at this one last time. I can't believe how many problems I have with this car. My engine stops suddenly and is not reliable. So, first thing we're going to do is run an OBD scan. I've realized this series has become more of a like a vlog series where I just kind of talk about things. I'm fine with that. I enjoy talking about it. There aren't a lot of people that I get to talk to about things like work and cars. So, I'll share it with you guys. I'm totally fine with that. I may be doing a little venting in this episode, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be a little nicer than that. Alright. So, ignition coil, spark plug wires. Just the spark plug wires on this side. So let's take these. Oh, I have to take the engine cover off. Lame. Okay, those are fine. And those are fine. I'm checking the spark plugs there. We're gonna need this. We're gonna need an ignition module and 2 sets of spark plugs. And that's the immediate concerns. We'll see what else is wrong when we get there. Yes, so, to start with the venting. If you own any vehicle that's, I would say, simply made, things that come to mind are most American manufacturers, like Ford, Dodge, Chevy, things like that. I would also lump into that group, say, Mazda, because there's a lot of Ford in Mazda. A lot of their design things. Ford and Mazda were together at one point, development-wise and things like that, and you could see that in their things. So, simple things. If you have a vehicle like that, by all means, take it wherever you wish, because you know, most... I thought I bought new... Did I grab the wrong spark plug wires? Where's our... Let's get out of here. Ignition wires. Oh, for a V6. Dadgummit. I bought 2 sets of the wrong wires. Ugh. Forgot it was a V6. V6 front. V6 rear. So, we're probably going to end up, if not losing money, we've definitely lost our profit. Or lost some of the profit from it. Yes, if you own vehicles like that, by all means, go wherever, because they're not built difficultly, if that makes sense. There's a lot of simple designs in it, it's easy to figure out, nothing too difficult. However, if you own something usually European. Things like Porsche, Volkswagen, Mini, BMW, Audi, anything German or European in design, please, please, please take it to either the original manufacturer's dealership. Let's see if we're done with this. Yes, please take it back to the original dealership that deals with that specific vehicle or specific type of vehicle, or find a really specialized shop that deals with it. Like, we have a few around town that deal with German cars. They'll deal with Mercedes, Benz, BMW, and Volkswagen. And that's pretty much it. They won't touch Fords or anything like that. I bought this car cheaply, but with an incomplete engine. Can you mount the missing parts and then check it on the diagnostic path? Well, it's interesting. So firstly, we have to find out what all is missing. Well, it's a 4-cylinder. Immediately we can see there's no starter. That intake pipe here is missing from the intake manifold to the mass airflow sensor. There are 3 spark plugs missing. The ignition wires are missing. Now, is the engine the only incomplete part? I guess we'll grab those things right now. Make sure to focus on that so I get everything I need. And then I'll finish what I was saying. So, we need the... Oh! Yes, airflow tube for the 4-cylinder. We need... a starter, spark plug... Okay. We bought some ignition wires for a 4-cylinder last time. Or last RO, accidentally. Spark plug. We need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. So we get the starter, then ignition module. I think that's it for the beginning of that. Yes, because German vehicles, European vehicles, things like that have very specific things about them that you need to deal with in a certain manner. And if you aren't trained, chances are you won't get it right. For instance, I had a vehicle come in. It was a Mini Cooper that another shop had been working on. And I forget to get a starter. Do I have a... Actually, let's check and see if I replaced the starter on anything. If so, I might have one in my inventory. I could... Nope. I gotta start doing that. If I replace a part, keep it and repair it, as opposed to just getting rid of things willy-nilly. Alright. Not a V6. It's a regular starter. Yes, so I had a Mini come in that they had to do a head gasket on. The head gasket is a gasket that goes between the block, which is highlighted here, and the head, which is highlighted here. It goes through between these two on this surface here. You have to remove the head, install that, and replace the head. It's more complicated than that, but that's the basics of it. It came from another shop, an independent shop. The block, head, everything around it, transmission, everything was taken out of the car. The front end was off of the car. Now, on a Mini Cooper, you don't have to remove the front end. You can step it out. Basically, it gives you 6 inches to a foot of extra room in the front of the car for working on. Oh, the air tube. So you ooh, the battery's missing, too. The biggest one of all. I missed that one. Yeah, so... all that was taken out of the car. You don't need to do any of that. For any car, for that matter. You don't need to remove the engine to take the head off. It was especially for like a 4-cylinder. I could see if you had like a V8 or something, which even then I think it would be pretty simple. Some cars may be designed differently to where the fenders roll over the engine because the engine may be so large. Batteries what we're looking for. Yeah, but it was all in pieces, and I had to put it back together because they got into the job and couldn't figure out what they were doing, and so it got sent to me in pieces to be reassembled. So, to that shop, thank you. It paid well, but, you know, still a hassle. And then I went to do the timing. Now, in a Mini Cooper, the time... I forgot something. What am I missing? Get back in here. I think it was just the engine they were talking. Ah, good lord. Missed everything on the front. So, everything's here except the alternator and the belt. So that's what I need. This is a good RO. I wish I could have talked about it, but I keep having a vent about these work-related items. Work-related things. Alternators at the top. I don't know where I'm going. Yes. And the belt. Where are the belts at? Super T belts. Yeah, for the timing, basically you lock the camshafts in place and you tighten down the camshaft sprockets to the camshafts after they've been set in place. That's it. There's no timing marks required. There's no marks on the chain. A lot of vehicles have marks on the chain itself to where it has to match with a mark on each camshaft sprocket, which then will match with either the crankshaft sprocket or some kind of idler sprocket. But you don't need that in a Mini. They're not designed that way. And this vehicle had paint marks on it. What else am I missing? Good Lord. Is there an air filter in it? It's usually something that dumb. At least it is with this. Starter's there. All that stuff's there. Well, let's check that. I mean, you never know. Disassembly mode. Yeah. So... yeah, just a little bit there. But... please, by all means, if you have something like that, take it to a dealership that works with these vehicles and knows what they're doing with them. Because if not, you just miss out and lose out on so many things. Another instance, I had a vehicle just today that had a brake job done at another shop. Simple, you know, brakes. Brakes aren't hard to replace. It's the same basic system regardless of the vehicle, you would think. However, Mini Cooper, BMW, Volkswagen, Mercedes, a lot of the German manufacturers have gone to, what would you consider? It's like a brake sensor. It's a sensor for the brake system. It plugs into one of the brake pads. Some of them do it differently. Some of the brake pads have it built in. Some have an external sensor that plugs onto the brake pad. Basically, it's a piece of plastic with metal inside, and once the brake pads get so low, the rotor starts to rub on the sensor, and it'll eat the plastic away until it gets to the metal. Then it makes an electrical connection, and that's the sign that you need brakes. That's when it'll throw a message to the car saying you need brake pads. Why can't we finish this RO? Oh, test car diagnostic path. Wow, way to go. I guess that's it. Which tells me that something's probably going to be wrong with the suspension, and we're going to have to fix that too. Maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, but so they had it done in another shop, done the brakes, and they didn't replace one of the sensors. Anytime you do the brakes, you're supposed to replace both sensors with them. They didn't replace one of the brakes, so it was partially eaten through, and the sensor they installed on the front was some kind of aftermarket sensor that had like a cut in it that was causing not a check engine light, but a brake warning light. So, I don't know. Yeah, please, if you own something expensive or German or European, please see a specialist, because they're the people that deal with the car day in, day out, know the nuances and specialties of each car and each specific problem with the car. And they're the ones that can deal with that because they have the special tools, the special training, everything required to work on that vehicle. Whereas if you go to an independent shop, they are, in America we have something called the ASEs, or, I don't know the breakdown, Automotive Service Excellence, I think. It's basically generic vehicle maintenance items that maintenance and repair, and sort of a generic, it's not a vehicle specific thing. Like you can have a BMW master mechanic, but this is like a car master mechanic. It's not specific to one vehicle. Okay, the brakes on this car have completely failed. Perform a general inspection of the brakes, please. So it's time for the diagnostic path. Again, even though we just did it. Yes, so, to end my rant there. Now, the last car we worked on, they said something about they just got their... Ooh, good lord. Significant change there. That would be why they don't work. How about the back? Yeah, horrible. So they're gonna need brakes all the way around, probably. They said they bought a car that was incomplete with things missing from the engine. This happens a lot, just because, me specifically, I don't have a lot of money to buy any vehicle I want. So usually I either buy a non-running car and then make it running, which usually means that it's either broken or has parts missing that you have to replace. So it's a pretty good RO that you might run into. Usually when someone buys a car with parts missing, they're not planning to take it to a mechanic shop to replace those parts or install those parts. But it could happen. So now let's see what the damage was. Let's put this baby in the air, even though that's not where we're gonna work from. Alright, rotors. Pads are yellow there. Pads are red there, rotors yellow. Rotors red, calipers red. Pads are yellow. Pads are red, caliper yellow. Rotor red. So we're gonna get 4 rotors. We'll do all the brakes, and we need 1 caliper. Yeah, 1 caliper. We're not gonna worry about the yellow. Yellow's not enough to replace in this game. So we need 4 rotors. Brake disc. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 1 caliper. We need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we get to work. Do-do-do. What else did I want to talk about this episode? Can't remember. I feel like there was something else. For removal? This tricky pad here. Hard to get out. Oh, that went pretty easily. Replacement time. I want a new pad, or new disc. Ah, tricky pad. There it is. No! Oh well, that's alright. Well, the one closest to the brake thing gets the, closest to the brake master cylinder is going to get the newest caliper. Because I accidentally pressed it. That's alright, we have a better one than what's in the back to replace. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Brakes are important. Always remember to check your brakes, repair them if necessary. I keep feeling like I should do videos for showing how to do simple things with vehicles, like check your oil and things that car people might take for granted, but people who aren't into cars, who just buy them to get to work and back, you know, point A to B. That's what my dad always says. I'll say something about making a car better for an autocross event or something. And he's like, oh, a car is just a point A to point B, which for him it is, but I do things differently with vehicles. He's into music. He does a lot of music-related things, so, you know, where I may see a tuba as just some big, annoying, shiny noisemaker, you know, he sees it as a grand part of some orchestra. I never got into the music. He tried to get me into it. On my time, so it wasn't forced or anything. I just, I didn't have the patience for it. You have to learn an instrument. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. a lot of studying, a lot of practice, a lot of being bad at it for a while. I don't really like that. I don't like things that I'm instantly horrible at. Which, fortunately seems to be everything. But some things I eventually stick with, but maybe not. But yeah, I was thinking about doing, not thinking about, just considering the idea of doing videos for your average person wanting to maintain their own vehicle. Oops. Oops. There we go. Put the good one on there. Or the better one. Our Cone Dodger said something about he didn't like the fact that parts that were worn have rust. It just looks like they're rusty. Especially when it comes to something like aluminum, or like a transmission's not gonna rust like that usually, and a battery's definitely not gonna rust. So that, you know, that's one thing. He suggested that there be some kind of oil film on it, like maybe it burst and there was oil leaking all over it. I think that would be a better. Okay, I did a general inspection and replace. I'm not quite sure what else you're wanting. That's another thing about this game, is it needs to be more clear with what it wants. These ROs are very, very generic. It says test the brakes. I tested the brakes in here. They told me what was wrong with them. Oh, okay. Show condition. Yeah, good. 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 Not quite sure what else it's wanting me to do here. Does it want me to do a test drive? Does it just want me to look at? Let's do a test drive. I have to give test driving the car a better chance than I did last time. I had that all-wheel drive car last time and it didn't go so well. As I said, I have to use the WASD keys, so now I'm slow. Whoop! Straighten out. Well, there's the braking test. Whoops. That cone. Ah, Speaking of cones and autocrossing, not that that was mentioned. You know, I'll take the shortcut again. Speaking of cones and stuff, there was Sunday, this past Sunday, which I'm not sure what day this is going to come out, but Sunday the June 15th, I think it was. Left my phone on the table, so it just vibrated pretty heavily. I think it was the 15th, yeah. Alright. Okay, I checked the brakes. What do you want from me, game? I don't know what you want. What is it? What is it? What is it you want? Just tell me. Just tell me, I'll do it. It's easy. Whatever it is. Perform general inspection of the brakes. How would you like me to go about this? I've even changed the brakes. I have replaced said brakes. What am I missing? Did I open the hood for anything? I shouldn't have. Assembly mode. Is there anything missing? Everything in here is bad just because of... great. Now I'm losing frames. Frame rate going down. No! I hate this stupid game. Alright, you know what? I'm losing frame rate here, and next episode... Oh, and then it comes... Oh, never mind. It's because I sat still for some reason. It likes when I do that. It's getting really glitchy. I'm not going to fight it anymore. Next time, we will talk about the autocross that we just had. I wanted to mention that, and I was getting there with that test drive, but we got... Oh, look at that, we're back. Yeah, I don't know what this thing wants from me. I put everything back, I don't know what it wants. Maybe I'll cheaty look it up or something. I don't know. Go watch someone else's video on this. Yeah, I'm losing frame rate again. Yeah, so next time we'll talk about the autocross that just happened over this past weekend. Mr. Cone Dodger let me co-drive his car, the Nissan 240 SX. Amazing car. I've always been into the 240s. I have been for a while. Probably 10 years, something like that. It's late, so I'm not thinking clearly. So dates aren't going to be correct, but, yeah. So next time we'll talk about that. Maybe a few other things. Vented a little about work today. Yeah, just... I really appreciate it when people take care of their vehicles. And when they don't, I really don't appreciate it. Especially when I'm having to clean up another shop's mess. But... it's hit or miss. Sometimes you get customers who baby their vehicles and, you know, 200,000 miles down the road, it looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor. And I've seen some with less than 10,000 miles that look like it's been driven for 200,000 miles by a slob. Just everything's caked in something, and I don't know. So that's going to end this episode for tonight. Or afternoon, depending on when you watch it. Morning. Midday. Not sure where all my viewers are at, so if you want to chime in, let me know where you're at. What time of day my videos usually come out. Usually it's about mid to late afternoon here on the east coast of the United States of America. But chime in, let me know where you're at. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and be sure to catch the next episode.